So, here today I'm going to show you how a hard drive works. I'm not going to pretend to know everything about it. I'm just going to show you how it's assembled, or or the structure of it anyway, and how bad it is to open it up and do anything with it. Of course, what I'm going to show you is broken, and we broke it way more than it already was. It was just broken to where it wouldn't boot, and if you tried to use it, it said 105.2 megabytes available, or it said 105.2 megabytes is the capacity, 0 bytes available. Then when you showed the directory, it would say file not found, which means there was nothing on there. So, yeah. We put glue in it, we've drawn on it with crayons, what else did we do? Oh yeah, we put silly putty on it, and when we put silly putty on it, the head broke entirely. And so, I'm going to show you how that works. So, okay, so here we have the hard drive with its cover put on, nothing too strange, 40-pin IDE port, the pretty standard plug, except nowadays hard drives usually have a smaller plug. It has a circuit board on the bottom, whoops. And this motor here, if you spin it, you change the position of the head, so that you don't usually want to mess with. And this circuit board here is there's usually a panel on top of it, but for some reason, as you can see here, there's screw holes, and the panel might have been taken off for some reason here. And this IDE connector is totally uncovered. That probably would have also been covered. So, this is an old hard drive. All these diodes and stuff are how to control the drive. So, let's open this thing up. And opening it up is the worst thing you could possibly do. For one thing, it's a vacuum in there. There's no air, no nothing in there, except the hard drive's moving parts. 2, if you release this screw, that will ruin the drive unless you know what torque it should be and use a torque driver. Because this screw right here, I do believe holds the head in place, and if you unscrew that, the drive will never work again unless you fix it. And these screws are usually sealed pretty tight. I had to have my dad do this first time, but oh, and also you can see these are Torx screws. They're not something that they're not for a screwdriver you're normally just gonna have laying around. These screws are usually very tight, so I had to have my dad do this the first time. But in this case, they've already been unscrewed once or twice. Whoops. I'm sorry, I'm over here, and I'm trying to keep this in a position so the camera can see it well. Whoops, not quite there. Well, there we go. Then, this screw, you can see, this won't come off. And because of this screw, it holds the head in place. It voids the warranty if you remove the sticker over that screw. As you see, this drive looks horrible. We put glue in, and I just peeled all this off the head earlier because I saw a YouTube video of somebody putting glue on it. The head's broken here. There's glue right there. All this is messed up, and for some reason there's not very much. For some reason there's not very much slack on this. So the head's messed up, and there's lots of screws in here. Now, do not touch this. I'm telling you right now, if you ever wanted to open up your hard drive, don't touch this, even though I'm touching it a lot right now. Just your fingerprint oil will ruin the disk, because then it squeaks really badly and will scratch up the disk if there's the slightest amount of oil on it. And because I've touched it like this, fingerprint oil has gotten on these disks that haven't been touched otherwise. So if I move the heads right there, it is scratching up the disk as I do this. See? It's only if I have the heads on the edge. Not a third over here, not a third in the middle, just on the edge. And so if you were to turn this on, this disc would be spinning really fast, but this disc isn't very fast. So if you put a screwdriver on and try to make sparks, the disc just stops. It doesn't have enough power. Then you can see this circuit board is held in place by 3 more screws. Held in place by 2 Torx and 2 Phillips head screws. I just think that was weird. But let's see, this doesn't come off. I think I know why. It's this ribbon cable here. I think that happens here. There's the washer. I guess that ribbon cable is loose now. We're gonna see if it moves anymore. It does a little more, but I'm not strong enough to get these panels off here. This circuit board, if it's off, the whole drive won't work, because the circuit board controls the drive. Also, it might partially be held on by these wires. Didn't think about it. So, oh my. We want to get this. This is going to be tricky. Getting this washer to work right. So that's done. Now that the ribbon is in place again, let's put in the 3 basic screws to hold the circuit board in place. Now, when you want to get the circuit board reattached, you have to align the screws correctly. Well, you only have to do that with the first one, pretty much. Oops. So now the circuit board's back in place. It's not wobbly anymore. Now, drive still as bad as ever. This thing is to absorb any moisture that may have somehow gotten in the drive. And mainly when it's manufactured. And it stays right here. I don't know if that's in other drives, but just a little slot port right there. We screw in this main screw here. I don't have a torque driver, but plus this drive's broken, so. Then we screw in these screws. This hard drive has suffered a lot. Very much so. As you can see here, it's made in the Philippines. It is 105.2 megabytes. Has instructions on how to set it up for DOS, and it had jumper settings. This drive here is very old, but we have now successfully taken the drive apart almost completely. Well, by almost completely I mean unscrewed all the screws that were visible to us that we could. And we have put it back together again. So, just hope you enjoyed this. I almost fell. And this has been a presentation. Shut up one more time. This has been a presentation of Captain Sid 2001. We hope you enjoyed.